Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Scully,
Yes?
marry me.
I love you and I like you.
I love you and I like you.
I love that woman. I love her more than sharks love blood.
I love you.
You don't.
Hello, I'm Tristan Riddell,
And I'm the girl.
and this is episode 79 of Nerd Nuptial. If this is your first episode, this is a show where we, as a married couple, look at life through a geek lens and through a married lens, and it's been a heck of a ride so far. So what we're talking about this week, what are we talking about this week?
Stranger Things Season 2.
Season 2, which, okay, they have this weird thing where they're trying to call it, I think they are calling it Stranger Things 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's a movie.
Oh.
But it's like they're not calling it Stranger Things Season 2, even though that's exactly what
2?
it is. They're like Stranger Things 2. Like even when you go on IMDb's websites, type in Stranger Things, click on it, it says Stranger Things 2, formerly known as Stranger Things.
Weird.
It's super weird, right? That's odd.
Yeah. I've never heard that done before.
Like I've heard of some shows adding a subtitle, like a American Horror Story will be called.
Oh, sure.
Like American Horror Story Freak Show, American Horror Story Coven.
Right. So you know what you're getting into, but it's a different season.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, we just found out. We were thinking about, like we often do, we were thinking about Westworld.
Oh, of course we were.
And I was talking about, I read an article about how Westworld is coming out on 4K Blu-ray, but 4K HDR Blu-ray. And you know I'm a big nut about that stuff.
Well, and what do you want for Christmas?
I want a 4K TV real bad. I want a 4K TV so
you keep
bad.
bargaining with me. Like, we're at the mall, and he's like, hey, you want that? I can go get my 4K TV, right? I'm like, what? No. What are you talking about? This, like, $5 thing does not equal your how much money 4K TV.
To be fair, it was not $5. It was $45 for shoes
Well.
in my very expensive TV.
Okay.
No, I want my new TV because I don't need my new TV. I want it, even though
You feel like you need it.
I feel like I need it.
Well, and you were trying to convince me that that should be my Christmas gift, too.
Well, I'm
You were
just saying
like,
I
well,
can't
it's
wear
for
your
the
shoes, but you
family.
can watch the TV.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. So I don't get any Christmas gifts? I just have the 4K TV with you?
I'll buy you the shoes.
Oh, my gosh.
I told you I'd buy you the shoes.
Oh, my gosh.
Anyway, Westworld, right? Is that what
Westworld,
you're
yes,
talking
sorry,
about?
Westworld.
Yeah. Westworld, yeah. So somebody wrote an article about how glorious Westworld looks on 4K, and so I looked up the 4K Blu-ray, and it said Westworld: The Maze.
I didn't know that it had a title.
I didn't either. So season 1 has a title, so it makes me wonder what's season 2 going to be called? Like The Uprising? You know,
Right,
the
yeah.
Revolution?
Right. Yeah.
I think I think sounds good.
It almost sounds like, I don't know, with Stranger Things, like, did they not know they're going to get a season 2? You know, same thing with Westworld. Like, did they not know? Because when you see Westworld, it doesn't say, like, the maze.
Right. Yeah. When you log on to HBO,
Right.
it doesn't say Westworld: The Maze, and I don't even know if the Blu-ray says that. I don't think the Blu-ray
So
says
just
The
like
Maze.
Westworld, or it's just Stranger Things.
Yeah, season 1 or whatever.
I don't know. It's weird.
It is strange, but either way, however you slice it, Stranger Things 2, Stranger Things Season 2, that's what we're talking about today. And we're recording this 2-3 days after it dropped, something like that. And
it dropped on Friday.
We're recording this on Sunday. You're listening to this on Monday, most likely. And we of course devoured it within 2 days.
Yeah,
we split
so
it up.
Friday,
it was 9
Saturday.
episodes. Yeah.
We were done.
And just like everybody, it kind of like somebody was talking about how like they hate binge watching or like an entire season dropping because it forces them to consume an entire season of television within 36 to 48 hours. Otherwise, it's going to be spoiled online.
That is kind of true.
It's hard to argue with that.
That's true.
You know, I mean, like, you know, like I'm much more tapped in, sadly, to social media than you are. I'm very jealous of you.
I only have my Instagram that's private, so.
Right. And so like that's the thing. Like tonight, I want to watch Star Trek, but let me rephrase that. I need to watch Star Trek. I have to watch Star Trek tonight. Because if I don't watch it tonight, it will be ruined tomorrow.
Well, you could just not go on social media.
Be serious, okay? Okay, I don't want a lot of jokes in this podcast.
Okay, whatever.
But no, you're right. You're right. I mean, that's the thing.
Well, I would always be worried, though, that someone at work would come up to me and say, like, hey, did you see this? Wasn't that crazy how this happened?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's one big thing. I'm not so worried about it with Stranger Things because I feel like I can say, like, whoa, like I'm not caught up, but honestly, we are, of course. But with Westworld, that is definitely a show that a lot of people, even non-geeks, watched. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, where it's such a good show. Westworld, not Game of Thrones. It's such a good show that it transcends the genre of sci-fi, and multiple people watch it and talk about it at the water cooler. And actually, we were talking about canceling our HBO. We're just like, do we really need it right now? I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff on it, but like we don't need it right now. But we're like, with season 2 of Westworld coming out next year, we're gonna have to get it then. Or do we get the iTunes Pass? But if you get the iTunes Pass, you have to watch it the next day. You have to watch it the day later,
and that just won't work.
And then and then the water cooler conversations or whatever conversations other people have
it's true. It's so true.
It's a burden.
It is. Okay, so I feel like with a Netflix show, I enjoy the binge watching because I feel like that's what you do that weekend.
That's your Stranger Things weekend.
I mean, we literally like put them in our calendar, in our, our shared calendar.
It's true.
We write them down. We're like, okay, well, this is Stranger Things weekend, so don't plan anything that weekend.
We did that for Mindhunter.
Oh, yeah.
We did that for Blade Runner.
It's true. Yeah. We're like, okay, well, this is what we're doing. We didn't have to do that as much with movies, but with television shows, especially if we know we want to podcast about it, we're like, okay, well, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So when the baby's sleeping, napping, when she goes to bed, that's what we're doing.
It's true because we cannot watch media when she is awake.
No.
Because she has 2 modes, asleep and moving around getting into trouble.
Yeah, our baby is crazy. She moves constantly, crawling, standing, just talking. And now screaming.
Now
just
she's
randomly.
Screaming.
Yeah, just randomly screaming.
But
no
not
reason.
Angry screaming.
No, it's excited. She just randomly I love life. It's so amazing. Speaking of our baby, we have the cutest pictures of her as Wicket from Star Wars as an Ewok. It's so cute.
True. She's true.
Adorable.
You and your mom made the costume.
We did.
And I'm super proud of you guys.
Thanks.
Because it looks
It's all crafty.
Amazing. You even made a staff for her.
Yep. A non-pointy staff because she would have killed us all. So
our baby's quite violent.
She is. Yeah, and she looks so cute in them. So we took her to the Botanic Gardens and we found some areas that look like Endor and then
we specifically found places that had ferns and stuff.
Exactly. We were scouting areas and it was really cold and this poor baby, actually she was probably the best one because she had this whole furry outfit on. I was kind of jealous of her. But it was really fun to do. So
it was
our geek baby.
Yes. And I could have my arm twisted to post some pictures of her
on the website.
On the website, yeah.
On our part of Nerd Nuptial area.
Yeah, if you guys go to the nerdparty.com/nerdnuptial.
We don't usually do that.
We don't normally post pictures of her and her face, just privacy things and just I don't know. I post pictures of me and you all the time publicly, but it's just it's your baby, it's your kid.
Yeah.
And just it's kind of to the point where you're just kind of you want her to make. I know this sounds silly, but you want her to make those decisions. If she wants her images out there.
I know.
I don't know. That might sound silly, but yeah, but she's she's so freaking adorable, and
we're not biased at all.
And we both love Star Wars so much. But yeah, go to the nerdparty.com/nerdnuptial, and this episode is episode 79, and just check it out. You might see some photos of her. But one other thing that you can do is you can go to the nerdparty.com, the main page, and from there you can check out all of our back catalog episodes. You can check out all of our other shows on the network, Star Wars shows, Star Trek shows, General Geek podcasts, everything that you can think of, a Harry Potter show. And you can also find us on social media all over the place. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know how to find us. Just go to thenerdparty.com. Okay, so Stranger Things.
Yeah, let's talk about season 1. Like, what did you think about season 1? Like, we did a whole podcast about it. We actually were late to the party on that. But we did a podcast about it anyway because we were like, well, this is our podcast. Who cares?
You know what, guys? I'm gonna post that too. Like, I'm gonna post our season 1 discussion within the same blog post.
Yeah.
So yeah, just check this episode out at thenerdparty.com. So season 1, here's the thing. Since we were talking about Westworld so much, there are 2 shows that I say had fantastic first seasons right out of the gate, because a lot of shows, specifically Star Trek shows, including one that's going on right now.
Be careful.
The nerds might hear and revolt. The first season of a TV show sometimes can be pretty rough. Like,
it's true.
They're trying to find their feet. They don't know who their characters are. The writers
Very
don't know
true.
who the characters are. They're really just kind of, there's a test ground to see what works and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain shows where the first season is just phenomenal. Just hit it right out of the park. And there's 2 examples that I always give, and that's Westworld and Stranger Things.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we loved Stranger Things season 1. I think we fell in love with 11, as you do, and we wanted justice for Barb, like you do. And I feel like the dynamic of the kids was really what made it for us. We kind of, if we do a rewatch, we sometimes skip around with the teenager part, because we're kind of like the
Nancy and Steve parts.
Yeah, we're kind of like whatever. Except for the Barb parts.
Because Barb is a good friend and a good influence.
She's a treasure.
Yeah,
she's a treasure. But I feel like we were all about the craze. I mean, there's a reason why it kind of like swept the country, right? Of, if not the world, of why people love Stranger Things, right?
It was one of those shows that I heard nothing about it beforehand, never even saw any kind of ads for it or trailers for it. I don't know how we got into this vacuum of isolation of Stranger Things, because I think it was my mom who talked to me about
and she
it.
didn't like it at first.
No, she like, we were talking on the phone. She's like, have you seen Stranger Things? I was like, no, I saw that it popped up on Netflix, but I haven't checked it out. She's like, it's not very good. And like, the reason that she gave was really weird, and which we won't get into right now. But, and so I was like, I was kind of like, I need to check this out. And we did it like a couple weeks later, like a month later.
Yeah. And I feel like everyone was kind of in that same ballpark, though, where they all kind of got obsessed with it later. Mm-hmm. Don't you feel like you saw more about it like months later?
Yes, like a little bit later, but not like Arrested Development later.
No. But I feel like it was like, everyone kind of word of mouth said, you need to check this out, check it out. And then now everyone knows what Stranger Things is.
Yeah, Stranger Things season 1 was definitely a word of mouth show. Mm-hmm. Like, it was not House of Cards where everybody knew it was coming.
Right.
Because of who was in it. Like Kevin Spacey, Robin Wright, David Fincher, everything like that. This didn't have that. Duffer Brothers, who's that?
Well, Winona Ryder.
Well, yes, Winona Ryder, but I'm sorry, like, as much as I love Winona Ryder, she's not exactly the powerhouse that she was, in the 90s. And this is no disrespect to Winona Ryder. She's a fantastic actress. She just doesn't have the heat like some of other people that I mentioned, like Kevin Spacey or Robin Wright.
Right.
Right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, season 1, it's just like, when I remember starting it and thinking like, like the opening scene was on these kids playing Dungeons and Dragons. And I was like, I don't like kids in TV and movie. I don't like them.
True.
I was like, I don't want this to center around them. Like, please no. But as I was watching, I was like, okay, these kids are awesome.
Right. Exactly. You fall in love with them.
And you fall in love with them almost immediately.
It's true.
And that was, it makes me kind of reevaluate, kids in TV and movies. Like, maybe I should give them more of a shot.
Well, I think they also found just like the best grouping of kids too. I mean, from the way they wrote them, but also those actors. I mean, there isn't a weak link amongst them.
They're so casual with their acting. It's so second nature to them.
It's true. It's true. I feel like that grouping, that cast, that ensemble is really what made it.
You're right. This is very much an ensemble show.
It is.
There's not one person that's really carrying the weight.
No.
I mean, there are some people you like better than others.
Of course. But you need everyone to make it Stranger Things.
And one thing, actually, since we were talking about like young talent, I saw a quote from the Duffer Brothers talking about Millie Bobby Brown or Bobby Millie Brown, something like that.
Yeah.
She plays 11, and she was actually 11 at the time when they were casting and filming season 1.
Oh wow!
Now she's 13, and they were talking about how with her, you have such a young star, but filled with such capacity and acting talent that's so rare. It's like you're working with an older actress because of what she can do.
Right.
But then they countered that with, there was one day that she showed up and she delayed production 45 minutes because she was covered in glitter. You're like, and it reminds
adorable.
them, oh yeah, she's still a child.
Right. Seriously. That's adorable.
Isn't
That's
that
so
adorable?
Cute. That's so funny. That's awesome. Yeah. So, okay,
we love season 1.
We love season 1. Like, hands down, absolutely. Like, we could fast forward some of the teenager parts, but...
And that's really funny because we love the kid parts, love the adult parts.
It's true. Teenager
Didn't
part
dig on
was
the teenager
not
parts.
great.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about season 2, just like...
What we wanted to see?
Spoiler free. Yeah, let's talk about what we wanted to see first, and then get into what we thought overall, and then we'll get into spoiler territory.
So I remember with season 1, like when we finished, as we were watching, both you and I kind of hoped that it would be an anthology show.
Yeah, I still kind of have that feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, not to get into spoiler about how I felt about season 2, but I just thought, like, okay, we're called Stranger Things.
Which is a very generic, open-ended type show.
I kind of wanted to be more X-Files without Scully and Mulder, where like we're just focusing on like one grouping,
like one town.
Yeah, okay, this is what
happens.
this happened in this town, and then maybe going to another town, or the city,
Maybe even if it's something to do with the Upside Down, maybe that is the
right.
link,
Like, okay, the Upside Down is other places, something like that. And I still have that feeling a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But I also totally understand why, if you have this type of cast, why would you get rid of them? Yes,
that is definitely the argument. The main argument is that you got lightning in a bottle with this cast.
Right.
It wasn't so much the story. It wasn't even so much the Upside Down, even though those are all great.
Oh, yeah.
It was the cast that made it. And so
exactly,
I feel this is 100% a hunch. 100% a hunch. I have no data to back this up. But I feel like the Duffer Brothers created the story. This was the story. They pitched it to Netflix and said, here's a one-off. Here's a mini-series. Here's a limited series event. And I feel like as they were filming and as Netflix was getting the dailies and watching the episodes as they were making them, I feel like they said, no, you got to tie something in at the end. You gotta move it on.
Yeah. I mean, we could be completely wrong. Absolutely.
Again, like I said, 100% guess.
But it does feel like that a little bit because it was tied up pretty well at the end of season 1, except for that last moment where, you have almost that Twin Peaks moment of there's something wrong with Will.
And it even was in like a bathroom mirror.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think they even maybe said something about an homage to that.
Oh, did
I
they?
think I've read something like that.
Well, you're smarter than I am because I didn't catch that. Yeah.
So I guess, okay, what were you wanting to see, from season 2, knowing that we were getting a season 2 with the same cast?
With the same cast, like
right.
with anthology out the window.
Right.
What I was hoping to see or expecting to see, I guess those are two different things.
Okay.
But they could be the same thing. Where I wanted to see 11, like I just wanted to know what the hell happened to 11.
Yeah.
Is she in the Upside Down?
Me too.
Is she not? What's the deal with the box with the Egos that
right.
Hopper keeps putting in there, what's the deal? How does he know that she's out there? What's going on? And I just wanted to know, like, that was my main focus. I just wanted to know.
What about 11?
What about 11? That's it. That's the, like, I didn't even care that much about Will and him coughing up the slug. I was like, what about 11?
What about 11? Yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
Which, even though, like, I love Lucas and Dustin and Mike and Will. I love all the boys.
Yeah.
And I love 11, but just for some reason, just 11 is so enigmatic and just mysterious and cool and badass.
Right.
And adorable all at the same time, which is such a weird balance.
Right.
And it's like I was just so utterly focused on her, and that's where the most mystery was. It was with Will and it was with 11.
Absolutely.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's mainly I was focused on. I was just like, and what I was expecting to see, like, that's what I was hoping to see. And obviously we were going to get it. But what I was expecting to see was, what I was expecting was 11 still in the Upside Down.
Me too.
I thought she was going to make, because she's so badass, I thought she was going to be able to make not a life, but like a survival story.
In the Upside Down.
In the Upside Down.
Yeah, I expected her to be in the Upside Down for a while. And I expected there to be some type of portal from, like, that box to her in the Upside Down, where she could, like, communicate maybe just with Hopper. And, maybe season 2 would be getting her into the real world again.
Yes, and the
That
only
was
reason
my
why
thought.
Hopper knows about that box that's connected to the Upside Down is because he struck a deal with
That's what I thought.
the scientists that
The lab.
the lab.
Yeah, the
Let's
lab.
just call it the lab. Yeah.
The Hawkins lab or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought all season 2 was going to be, was getting her back to the real world.
And maybe the boys would help.
Yes. And, like, maybe we would go back to the Upside Down to find her, but we would find her surviving, and, trying to get back to Mike, trying to get back to her friends, everything like that. That's what I expected. That was basically all I expected.
Yeah, me too. I didn't have anything else written in my head.
Yeah, no, I assumed there would be some type of, situation with the slug.
Yeah,
but I thought it would be more, maybe he was going to turn into, like, Will would turn into a Demogorgon, or he maybe had, like, some type of connection. I did think that there was some type of connection, like, okay, he's still not okay. Kind of like, you're not going to be okay coming out of the Red Room, Twin Peaks style. Like, you're not going to be all right. But, like, learning how to, like, get past that, And I also was interested to see him in the dynamic of the other 3 boys, because we really hadn't seen too much of that.
That's true.
So seeing Will in that, in his natural, dynamic.
Yeah, okay, I'll be honest with you, since you brought that up. Yes, that is something that I was interested in seeing, is how that dynamic went down. And before we get into season 2, that was, that was kind of a question. Even after watching season 2, we're kind of like, how is that dynamic?
Yeah. Okay.
All
right. So should we get?
I think so. I think it's time to get into it. Okay. So should we talk about
first impressions?
First impressions of season 2?
Or should we make people?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about first impressions. Okay. So without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we thought of season 2. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I feel like there was a lot of wasted time. A lot of, this is what happened for the last year. And I feel like we wasted a lot of time getting to the action or the point of caring in season 2. I feel like they caught us up way too much. Like, I even told you at one point that, I understand doing that with a show like The X-Files, where we haven't seen these people for, like, a decade. But with season 2, like, even in the show, we've only not seen them for, like, a year. Not even.
In the show,
not
they've
even.
been apart for a year.
Yeah.
And in real life, it's only been a year.
Exactly. So all of this, here's what happened kind of stuff. And not, it's not even necessarily filling us in on what happened over the course of the year, but just here's where each person is in what state. It felt a little unnecessary.
It took multiple episodes to do that.
Yes. And I really was hoping that we would have started a month later after.
after the events.
Yes.
That's very hard to do with young actors.
I know it is because they age.
So
But
quickly.
they didn't age that much.
I think Mike did. I think Mike
That's
aged the
true.
most. And
That's
also
true.
11 did pretty
She
hard.
did too. That's true. She looked a lot older. Maybe you're right. I guess in a perfect world, I would have, you know how I love when they pick up right where they left off.
Think about, what's his name on Lost? The boy.
Oh, that's right.
Michael's son.
Yeah, you're right.
They had to write him off the show.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're
they're
right.
like, what
he
were
got
we
too
thinking?
old. He got too old. It's true.
That's my biggest complaint too. Is like actually out of everything that happened in the show, whether we liked it or not, the biggest detractor was just, wow, you wasted so much time.
Yeah.
Even if they came at us and said, you know what, we're only going to give you 5 episodes this season, I initially would have been angry, but if they showed me those 5 episodes, I would have been, wow.
Oh, you mean where they actually spent their time?
Where they spent their time.
I
Like
get that.
if they cut it down to 5 episodes, like I said, like if they announced it, I was like, whoa, 5 episodes, what a rip. But then I watched just those episodes, I'd be like, that is a wild, amazing ride. But instead they gave us 9, one more than last year.
Mm-hmm.
And like, to be honest with you, I feel like you could watch episode 1 just to catch you up, skip all the way to episode 5, watch 6, skip 7, watch 8 and 9.
No, I'm not going to argue with you. I think there are certain pieces like,
definitely.
that you need in all those episodes. But
This is for a rewatch.
if you were rewatching it and you weren't doing a hardcore rewatch, I really think you're right. I absolutely think you're right.
You could almost skip episode 1 and
You
just do
almost could.
5, 6, 8, and 9. It's rough. It's
I'm trying to think.
like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I guess you could.
So so that's the thing. Like there's a lot that happened in season 2 that was just really cool.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, yeah.
the good stuff was amazing,
Mm-hmm.
but the not so good stuff was mind-numbingly boring.
Yes.
There was nothing really. There was only one part that was really egregious where I was just like, why are we watching this? This is horrible. This is stupid. This is pointless. There's really only one point that kind of made me angry and upset.
Okay.
But all the other stuff, I was just kind of like, oh my God. I'm bored. Let's move on.
I get that. I get that.
But the stuff that was good,
Yes.
chills.
Yes.
It was cooking with gas.
All right. Well, I think we should get into spoiler territory
Let's do
because
it.
I don't think we can help
No.
ourselves now.
So here we go. We're at the 27-minute mark. We're going to spoiler territory. You have been warned.
That's right.
Do-
Watch it, all of it.
Do not listen to the rest of this episode before you watch season 2. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
And you really should watch all of the episodes and not just what we just
Oh,
said.
not just the ones we said. No. Like if you're watching it for the first time, you have to watch
Oh,
episodes
yeah,
1 through 9.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And I don't think anybody would just listen to us.
All right. So, should we just start with like the beginning?
Oh, well, let's just
just
talk
talk.
about, let's
Okay.
just talk. Yeah. So the kids are back,
Mm-hmm.
Will's in the mix and crazy things are happening with Will, which, like as we expected. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
expected that. Like things are weird. Like he's like the last scene of the last episode of season 1 shows him in the bathroom and all of a sudden, boom, he's back in the Upside Down. It makes you wonder, is he actually in the Upside Down? Is he seeing the Upside Down?
Right.
Or is it all in his head?
Mm-hmm.
And as we enter in season 2, the doctor is like, apparently he's going to the lab
Mm-hmm.
and he's getting regular checkups and Hopper's going with him with Joyce and everything like that. So this is normal. Like they have a relationship
with the
with
lab.
the lab, which I thought was
Right.
an interesting take.
I thought so too. It was a way like to keep an eye on him,
Mm-hmm.
but they were also honestly trying to help him, which was also interesting because they were such the bad guys in season 1.
They were so very much the antagonist.
Exactly. And now it was like, oh, well, it's new management. So now we're just trying to help him with his PTSD and we're trying to help him, understand these feelings and monitoring, his health and everything like that. And I was like, okay, a big change here.
But at the same time, you're like, are they?
Right.
Are they not? Because there was a few times, like when they interacted with Nancy and John, they were very much intimidating them.
Very
They
much
were,
so.
like trying to show, like they were insinuating that they would kill them if they spoke out, which is not what good people do.
Right. And even like the flashback to when, it first happened where 11 disappeared and, they're talking to all the people and they're like, for national security, you need to keep quiet. And like, okay, Will went into the woods and he got lost and all of that, okay, there's the government cover up going on. So it was just interesting to see that they're helping.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it paid off though. Like they proved that they were the good guys now, that they were helping out.
Which was interesting.
Paul Reiser was the new Matthew Modine. And
only a good version.
But a good version, yeah. Like he was running the lab, and what was really interesting, and this was perfect casting by the Duffer Brothers, and they knew exactly what they were doing because a lot of people know Paul Reiser from Mad About You, but in the movie world, the 1980s movie world,
yes,
he is in Aliens.
And he's the good guy.
He's the quote-unquote good guy who stabs him in the back at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
And so everybody's like, is he going to do it again?
Right.
Is he the quote-unquote good guy who's going to stab him in the back at the end?
That's exactly right.
And right up until the final moment, right up until Bobby. Like,
me too.
Like, even when Paul Reiser was looking after Bobby on the cameras, I was like, is he going to lead Bobby right into the Demogorgon?
Yes, me too. I had the same thought. I was like, is he good? I don't know if he's good. Which was great.
That was great.
It was great because you didn't know until the moment where he actually was trying to save him.
Yeah, up until he said, no, get into a closet, turn around, leave.
Right.
That's when you're like, wow, he really is a good guy.
Yes.
And it took the entire season for us to figure that out.
Because even like, where there's a moment where they're like, we have to burn the Upside Down, and they're like, he's like, no, you're going to kill Will. And he like throws down his papers in the staff meeting. You're like, okay, like, is it for research?
Yeah. Does he care about Will, or does he care about what Will represents?
Exactly. And so the fact that they kept us guessing the entire time, I was like, well, that's pretty awesome.
That's good storytelling.
It is.
That's great storytelling. And that's the kind of storytelling that I'm invested in. That's what I appreciate. It's not the special effects. It's not the CGI. It's not how many starlets you can fit into the frame.
Yeah.
It is, can you keep me guessing? Can you keep me invested in behavior and motivation?
Yeah, it's true.
And this was a great season of behavior and motivation and payoff.
Very true. Well, even like talking about behavior and motivation, everything like that, I think it also goes to like how they treated Will. Like once they realized that he was a spy for the Upside Down, what they call them,
the shadow monster,
the shadow, whatever.
Yeah.
It was kind of like an interesting feeling of we spent all of season 1 trying to find this kid, and now we have to keep sedating him, or trying to trick him, or not being kind of wary of him. And that was just like really interesting to see how his like friends and his mom reacted, where like you still care about him, you're still trying to save him from getting eaten by the dogs, but you also like don't trust him to see his surroundings. That was fascinating.
It's very interesting, especially the way that you put it, where they spent the entire season trying to get him out of the Upside Down. But season 2 is all about what he brought with him.
Exactly.
And that, I think, is a very cool perspective, because it couldn't just be, season 2 couldn't have just been, oh, now it's the 4 of them against the Upside Down.
Right.
It's the 3 of them against what Will is and what Will brought back with him.
Yeah.
Because the battle's not over yet.
I think the moment where Will became really interesting to me this season was when he apologized because he had to tell the shadow monster where they were.
Yes.
I like just talking about it right now. I like am getting chills because I'm like, that was such a cool moment because I didn't see it coming.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, he is a spy. And like, but there's also this inner Will who's like, I'm so sorry, but he can't help it.
He had to do it. He was still going back and forth in that moment.
Right.
I didn't see that coming until they sent just random soldiers into
yeah,
the tunnels.
I understand.
Like once they sent like
there's no like special person.
yeah, like Soldier 1 and Soldier 2 and Soldier 3. Yeah. I was just like, oh crap, none of them have names.
They might as well have red shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was their version of the red shirts.
Yeah.
And it's so utterly true. But I didn't see it until that moment.
Mm-hmm.
It was seconds before it was revealed.
Yeah.
And I loved Mike's reaction to it when he was the one who figured it out.
Yes.
He was the one who figured out that it was a trap, that he's like, oh, it's the spy. And then he runs and he just starts screaming. And I'm getting chills now too.
Right?
I didn't feel like Mike had a lot to do this season.
The focus definitely was on Will.
Yes.
And 11, maybe later on.
Later on, yeah.
Yes, like season 1 definitely was was Mike's story with 11.
Mm-hmm.
This was definitely Will's story. And that was interesting because we definitely shifted our perspective, because now he's more of like a side character.
Yeah.
And it was a little, I'm not going to lie, I was a little frustrated because they gave like Dustin more to do than
they gave Lucas and Dustin.
Yeah, exactly. Than
Mike. Which is really weird because don't get me wrong, I loved seeing more of Lucas and Dustin.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Those storylines were great.
Oh yeah.
They really were, and it was very cool to see more of those characters and those actors kind of show that they're more than just background or side characters.
Mm-hmm.
But Mike and 11 were the protagonists that we were promised. Like, this is their show.
This is their show and their story, and I feel like I was invested in Mike's feelings about all of it. Like his feelings towards his best friend and his feelings towards 11, who's like his best friend and now potential love interest. Mm-hmm. And so now when we're really not spending very much time with him, now it's almost like, from my perspective, I'm like, okay, now I have to shift gears a little bit here.
Yeah. You have to wrap your head around it as an audience. You have to be like, oh, okay, I need to devote my attention where? Oh, okay, I need to move over here.
Yeah. But I kind of felt, I'm not going to lie, I kind of felt bad for the person who played Mike a little bit.
Listen, he's got a hit movie.
Oh, I know. So he's fine.
He's doing just fine.
I know, but I'm just saying that from his character's perspective, I don't think they gave him very much to do.
No, they didn't. I think that was one major failing. I mean, there was a lot of good things that happened in this season. Pacing was not one of them.
No.
Usage of time and episode was not one of them. But story and plot, once things got going, was definitely good. But giving Mike something to do was definitely lower on the list in their priorities.
He was basically like, I'm just going to be here for Will.
Yeah, he's just kind of shadowing Will around.
Yeah.
And he was just going from place to place wherever Will was going. Like wherever he was sedated, he was going with him. Or where, like, if he was out in the field, he was out in the field. And yeah.
And the skeptic, like he was the skeptic. He was basically like the Lucas of last season because but he was accurate, where he was like, no, this is not right. Or like that slug is possibly a Demogorgon, like, or something from the Upside Down. He was listening to Mike. He I don't know, maybe not quite as skeptical as Lucas, don't get me wrong, but I felt a little bit bad for that character.
I want to talk about the slug real quick, just so I don't forget it, because you brought it up just now. The slug, okay?
You mean Dart?
Dart, yes. Let's talk about Dart. Will coughs up the slug at the end of season 1 a year ago. Mm-hmm. It's the size of a slug.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that. And it's
a year later, it's in Dustin's garbage can, and it's maybe a centimeter bigger and like looks a little bit more like a tadpole instead of a slug. And then it grows to the size of a dog within 2 days.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
What? Was it the power of nougat?
Yeah, the Three Musketeers bar just like goes a long way, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
That did not make sense to me. But
it was just waiting.
I loved Dustin's storyline. I loved seeing more of him. I loved seeing his relationship with his mom.
Oh my gosh, I know.
That was an adorable relationship with his mom.
I know, I loved that. I loved
that it wasn't stereotypical, like he was frustrated with her all the time.
No.
Or it's just like, no, he was like, you can tell that they have a good relationship.
Yes.
It seems like his dad's not around.
It sounds like it, yeah.
And so he has to have a good relationship with her.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to.
Well,
but
I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say something.
but they do.
Yeah, whatever they do. Like, he doesn't have an alternative within the household to get along with a brother or a sister or a father. Like, his mom is all he has.
Other than the cat.
Other than the what,
Muse.
Muse.
Yeah, Muse.
Yeah. So I loved seeing Dustin. Like, it was clear that after season 1 dropped, Dustin was a favorite.
Oh yeah,
because he was adorable.
Of course,
he was
hilarious.
He was hilarious. He had the one-liners, and they wrote one-liner after one-liner for him in season 2.
What was your favorite one?
My favorite one, the one that I laughed the absolute hardest at, was when he was trying to find Nancy or Mike or Will or Lucas, and he couldn't find anybody. Nobody was answering the phone. Nobody was answering the walkie-talkie. He goes to the Byers' house, and
No, you mean the Wheelers.
I'm sorry, the Wheelers' house.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He goes to the Wheelers' house, Nancy and Mike's dad and mom, and the dad answers his door, and he says, he's like, yeah, Mike's not here, Nancy's not here. He starts being flippant and sarcastic, and Dustin just goes, son of a bitch, you've been no help to me at all. Do you know that? You're useless. And then he just walks away. and the dad is just like, language. And you could just tell that Dustin is at the end of his rope.
He's the sarcastic, witty voice of the audience.
Yeah.
In many ways, like in that respect, especially because that dad is absolutely useless.
Even from season 1,
oh my
the
gosh.
dad is just the
Seriously.
epitome of uselessness.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your favorite?
I think it was when he like slams the cellar door and says, he's like, I'm sorry, but you ate my cat.
So great.
It's like just so funny.
I think there was another time, like when he's talking to Hopper, and like he's talking about the flailer or something. The flayer. And and like Hopper's just getting super upset with him. He's like, "This is a kid's game. It's not real. It doesn't matter." And he just kept saying, he's like, "No, this is the closest thing we have. If you have anything else, I have got better. Like, if you have any other better ideas, let me know." And he just gets really indignant with him. And then he's like, "So how do we defeat the flayer?" And he's like, "Well, we have an army of zombies because they don't have any brains, and he eats brains, and they take them." It doesn't matter. It's made up. I'm sorry. It's trailing off.
I think one of my favorite was between he and Steve when like they were talking about like an enemy or something like that, and they were like and Steve's like, oh, like the Germans, and then Dustin's like, the Nazis.
Like he's offended.
Yes.
No, what he said, he's like, no, all they want to do is just think about world domination.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Then Steve,
like the Germans, and then
like, Nazis.
Exactly.
Like, let's not stereotype the Germans. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we love Dustin, and I think that they gave him a lot to do, this season for sure. I mean. And I Lucas was a little bit less interesting, like his storyline for sure. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked that he got the girl.
Me too. I
was like, okay, good.
Like,
yeah.
I think it would have been easy to make Dustin
Yes.
get the girl because he's out of all of this is gonna sound weird, but out of all of them, he is the goofy one. Like he's the nerdy one.
Yes.
I mean, Will and Mike are all nerdy.
Right.
Or both nerdy.
But you have more of an
awkward.
affinity towards Lucas because he's, well, like as Nancy says, you're my favorite out of all of Mike's friends.
And he's our favorite
Of
out of
course.
everybody.
Come on, yeah.
But like he's got the lisp, he's got the dysplasia,
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
He's overcome, he's been bullied.
Mm-hmm. And so it would have been easy to make him get the girl.
Yes.
But I'm glad that they made Lucas because Lucas was pretty much just the doubting Thomas in season 1.
Exactly.
And this one gave him something interesting to do. He wasn't just one note.
Right. Exactly.
But yes, I like it was cool to see more of Lucas. It was cool to see Lucas's family life.
Yeah, like the little sister was cute. That was fun.
What was her name? Karen or something like that?
Something
Erica.
Yeah, it was just fun to see her stealing his stuff, and it was a fun dynamic to see.
I like seeing all of their family life, because I think we got a lot of the show got a lot of criticism for not showing Lucas's family. Like people
Oh.
are thinking like, oh, like the black kid, like we're not seeing any of his family, but we see everybody else. But I think people forgot we didn't see Dustin's mom.
No.
We didn't see Dustin's family life either.
No, we really just saw, and we didn't really spend time at their houses.
No, it was all Mike and Will's family. That's all
Right.
that we really saw. I mean, we saw them at the funeral, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But with this one, like I said, I love that we got to see Dustin's mom. She was adorable. And I love that we got to see the dynamic between Lucas's family. Like, it's good to see good parental units all throughout.
Yeah.
Like, they all come from good homes.
Right.
And I love that line where,
Yes.
like, Lucas
dad.
is talking to the dad and says, like, it's like, what do you do when you know, how does he phrase it? Like when you're arguing with mom, he said, and then he said something sweet. He's like, even when she's wrong, do you do that? He's like, oh, she's never wrong, son.
That was cute. Yeah, I liked that.
Very cute. Very
That was
cute.
very cute.
So what did you think of Max?
I could take or leave her. Like I liked her more at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I still kind of felt like I could take or leave her, just because I didn't care a whole lot. Like I liked that she was there for Lucas, and I
Mhm.
liked that dynamic. I liked that a lot. But to be completely honest with you, throughout the entire season of season 2, I really don't know why we spent so much time with her jackass brother.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I
like
echo
Billy.
I echo your sentiment exactly when
I
it
don't
comes to Max.
understand it.
Like I could take or leave her.
Okay.
I was just like, whatever. She's there. I don't hate her. I don't love her.
Like
It's
it
just,
was nice to have like another girl
Yeah. Yeah.
in the mix, and it was funny to kind of see like how Eleven was just like, I'm not feeling her at all.
It's amazing.
But I don't know, like I guess when I saw Max enter the picture, and when I saw Billy, and they spent so much time developing Billy's character as this jerk,
Mhm.
who like would torment Steve and torment his stepsister. And like we didn't really know what the home life was until much later in the season.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of time like, we could tell he was abusive and his,
Yeah,
and
it's just like
really heinous, like not a good kid. And, we assume like he's lashing out or whatever like that. But honestly, the way that they were setting him up, I thought that he had something to do with the Upside Down, because I was like, we're spending so much time with this kid. Like, we can't just be spending time with like just a jerk bully. Oh, wait. Yeah, we are.
Well, to think about it, like if you think about it, Steve was the bully in season 1.
Yeah, he was.
And we spent a lot of time with him.
That's true, but at least he was connected.
He was connected to Nancy. Yeah.
And then he eventually paid off by helping them fight in the living room situation with the Demogorgon.
We
But
didn't get
this
that with Billy.
No, it was
Billy was
just
a jerk.
Just a jerk. The only thing I can think is like the only way he really paid off was getting them the car.
You're right.
Like to make her the Zoomer.
You're absolutely. That's the only reason why he was there, and they could have just had they could have written that out and said like Steve's car was here, or something like that, or they went and got Steve's car.
Right, exactly. And it like that's the only thing I can figure out is like how they came that way. Like they got to there was like, oh, we'll just use his crazy car that he speeds around town, and then she's the Zoomer, and like she earns her place. Like that was kind of how she earned her place. She's like, oh, she's so cool. She drives a car, and
I feel like that's the only reason he existed, was to have a conflict with Max that Max could overcome, and so that she could have personal growth as well as prove her worth to the group.
Right, and we have like a backstory for her, but I don't think it was needed.
You could have done that with something else. You could have done that with something Upside Down related, where maybe she kills the dog. Maybe she kills a Demogorgon.
Right.
And
okay, now you earned her place.
And people are like, holy crap, she's cool, she's smart, she can think on her feet.
Right.
And then we're like, we gotta have her in the party. And then you move on. And then we don't have all of the 10 unnecessary scenes with this random mullet-wearing bully.
Yeah, the only part I really liked about Billy was when he was coming on to Mrs. Wheeler, and she was like all like flustered with her.
That was amazing.
That was freaking hilarious.
That's the only
Mrs. Robinson type moment.
very Mrs. Robinson.
Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. Like that was the only, and I was like, I think I even told you, I was like, well, that might have been worth having him in the season. Like that was hilarious.
But the thing is, like, he could have been the grumpy stepbrother. He could have been the jerk stepbrother, and we see him once or twice, and then he pops up at Mrs. Wheeler's house, and then he pops up at the later on. I'm just saying, like, his role needed to be downplayed.
Yes.
We did not need to see his home life. We did not need to see him, like, he was like very much a jerk. He was not just a bully. He was abusive, and you hated this character.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was unnecessary.
Well, and like, I mean, the only reason like why we saw his homework life was to understand why he acted the way he does.
Who cares?
But that's the thing, is like, it doesn't really matter. It didn't really matter for the overall plot. Like, it was just to add like another dimension in there, like to fight, like one more thing to fight. Apparently, maybe it's something for Steve to do. Like,
Steve got his ass kicked.
Exactly. So that doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, like we talked about, it was just for her to overcome something, just for Max to overcome something, but that could have been done in a different way.
I agree.
And it's just like, when they showed the home life, and like the dad was a jerk to him and like smacked him, hit him, called him the derogatory F name for homosexuals, where it just like you don't realize how rarely you hear that word
when it comes up. You're like, oh my gosh,
yeah, damn,
yeah.
I guess it's a hateful word, and it's just so shocking to hear. And like, as I was seeing the scene, I was just like, okay, that sucks that he has an abusive dad.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks that he has such a jerk of a dad. I'm sad that Max is in that situation. Okay, so that's the reason why Billy's a jerk. Don't care, still a jerk. Like,
well, and I think the other thing too about that was like, we spent a lot of time like zooming in on his eyes, and like him like talking about like, she's not my stepsister, and all this stuff, like, where I thought there was gonna be some type of thing where like, wait, like at one
and
point,
don't hang out with Lucas.
Yeah,
he's kind.
Like what are you talking about? Like, is it a racial thing? No, it can't be that way.
That's too simple.
That's too simple to make it that way. Like, or like, no, you can't hang out with any of these kids. Like, you're only my sister. Like, that doesn't make sense, because he doesn't even care.
Yeah.
It was not flushed out. Let's just say it was not flushed out. It was frustrating.
It was frustrating. That was my least favorite dynamic in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Close to, I don't know. But we had so much going on.
Yeah.
In the later episodes.
Yeah.
That we didn't need it. We did not need it.
And it always felt like there was something more with him than there actually turned out to be.
Yeah, like you said, like there was so much focus on him. There was so much screen time devoted to him. What's his connection to the Upside Down? What is he gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, did they run from another town?
Or that, like, I thought there was some type of government like cover up. Like, maybe they were like, maybe they had to change their names or something like that.
But no,
it wasn't anything cool like that.
They just had a crappy home life.
Exactly.
This is Stranger Things. This isn't some random CW drama. Like, give us something.
He was the CW of the show.
He was the CW of the show. Not needed, except for that scene where he hit on Mrs. Wheeler.
Which was amazing.
Which was amazing. Okay, so we've established that. Let's talk about, before we get into Hopper and 11.
Okay.
I want to talk about one other gripe that I have, since we're on the negative train here. Nancy and Johnathan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
I care a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you.
I like Johnathan.
I do too.
Jonathan's a cool character. I like him. And I like that he got the girl. I like that him and Nancy are together, because I think they should be together.
Mm-hmm.
I like that we did not get that instant gratification at the end of season 1.
Yes.
I thought that was a smart move.
Yes.
To have her stick with Steve.
I thought so too, because it was unexpected.
It subverted our expectations. Every
right.
once in a while, I like that. And so I like that they took the time to get there. Here's what I don't like about Nancy and Jonathan's storyline. It was drawn out, and it was unnecessary to the plot. What they were doing was could have been taken care of in a couple of scenes, and instead of 2 scenes, we got 6 with the 2 of them. Like, here's what I'm talking about. They had a cool idea. They knew that they were being watched by the lab.
Mm-hmm.
And so they called up Barb's mom and said, we need to tell you something. Let's meet at this place. They meet at the place knowing that they're going to be watched and that those people take them into the lab. They wanted to be taken into the lab so that they could secretly record Paul Reiser on him admitting that they were responsible for Barb's death.
Right.
Great.
Right.
Great stuff. It was very reminiscent.
And I didn't think that was going to happen because I thought, I couldn't figure it out until, okay, that's awesome. Like they're actually thinking and they're not just like teenagers.
Yeah, they're not just like
no, they're smart. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Everything that you just said. Like I love that. And like it was reminiscent of season 1 where they went into the woods together. Like that was a cool dynamic. I like their dynamic. But then what they did was they took the tape to that private investigator, that conspiracy theorist.
Yes. Which was just shoehorned in like the first episode.
Yeah, that was really very, very much a shoehorn just so that they could have this scene. And they go there. It's an awkward scene, but then that culminates into, well, let's take the tape, let's water it down into something that the public can digest. So let's take out the supernatural, but still pin the lab on it. Great, that's done. Well, instead of just doing that, they spend time at this creeper's house.
This middle-aged man who lives by himself, who is a conspiracy theorist. Yes.
And says, okay, well, it's super late. I've been drinking in front of you all day.
No, they were drinking with him.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is that like I've been drinking in front of you all day, and now I've got you drinking. I, a middle-aged single man, where you are in my house, am giving you 17-year-olds alcohol on the regular. And so now that I've given you alcohol and you can't drive home and it's late, how about you stay at my place? Also, I can tell that you're into each other. So how about you get busy in my house, in my guest bed? And like he's not just overtly saying it. He's telling them, share the bed together. You two have feelings. Share the bed. It's okay. Don't use the pullout. Share the bed. You guys deserve each other. I'm going to wink, wink, go upstairs while you guys go at it in my house after I just gave you vodka. It was
so creepy.
This was very creepy. This was very uncomfortable. This was very weird. But the filmmakers, the executive producers, whoever, the creators, the writers, the directors, didn't treat it as weird.
That's the thing. Okay, and I honestly would like to know if people felt the same way we were feeling. I really do. Because
that's why I went on a long diatribe about it, because it upset me a great deal.
Because when we were watching it, I was like, okay, he's pumping them full of alcohol. Okay, now he wants them to stay there. This is creepy, right? Like, I looked at you, I was like, this is creepy, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, it was like the music was not creepy. And so I was like, okay.
They were playing it for laughs.
Yeah, and they like had, some fun music in the back. And then the way that Johnathan and Nancy get together is like this weird, like, well, the middle-aged man who has figured us out said to do it, so let's get together. And like there was nothing cute about it. There was no gratification from my perspective.
From a character's
perspective, because there was a creep factor.
Yeah.
Right?
And on top of that, the next morning, they have the morning after
with
breakfast. And the
him.
guy is there, and he makes an awkward pull-out joke, a coitus interruptus joke.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was so uncomfortable. It was like, are we not remembering that these people are 17?
They're teenagers. They're high school students. They're babies.
Exactly. And like a big plot point of season 1 was the fact that Nancy, lost her virginity to Steve. And now we're just so casual that we're just having sex in like a random creepo's house. Like, I don't know. It was jarring.
Like, I understand, like, I'm not so much of a prude or disconnected from reality that I understand some high schoolers have sex. A lot of high schoolers have sex. It's just life. That's just how it is. But here's what I don't like. I don't like how casual it is on TV and movies to have 25-year-old actors pretend to be 16 and 17 and them casually throwing sex around. Because what it does is it shows an adult mentality, because you have adult actors portraying kids having sex. And it shows younger, more impressionable kids, like people who are Mike's age and 11's age and everything like that, who are watching this show, who are 14 and 15, everything like that, seeing much older actors portraying people who are just supposed to be just a little bit older than they are.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, well, like I can go to a creepy middle-aged man's house, have alcohol, and sleep with my girlfriend, and it's A-okay because the Duffer Brothers are playing it up for laughs. Am I stretching it? Maybe.
I think you might be stretching it a little bit.
But this is...
Because I expected them to sleep together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I will say, okay, like, we're going that direction, okay? But I think that the thing that I'm bothered the most about is that it was clouded with creepiness because they... there used to be a time where, like, you weren't even supposed to show teenagers drinking, like unless there was some type of consequence. There wasn't really a consequence here, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was just, like, so casual. I mean, you had, like, like Nancy doesn't hold her liquor well in the first episode or whatever. But it just felt too casual, like you said. But I think the biggest thing to me was, like, I just really am uncomfortable with this middle-aged man telling these kids to have sex.
I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I may have went on a diatribe about a much bigger problem.
I think you did.
Like, all the things on the CW and everything like that, where, like, it's just like you have all... I think filmmakers...
That's been going on for years, though.
I know that. And I'm not saying it's something new, and I'm not saying it's unique to Stranger Things. I'm just saying that I think it's systemic, I think it's weird, and I think filmmakers forget, because they're dealing with 25-year-olds, I think they're forgetting that they're still portraying babies. They're still portraying 16 and 17-year-olds. But anyway, the bigger portion, like you were saying, the way bigger thing that makes it creepy is the middle-aged man, like, giving them booze, making them drink, telling them to stay at his place, and then straight up telling them that they needed to have sex. In season 1, Nancy lost her virginity to Steve. That happens in high school sometimes. Kids do that, but it was just the two of them. They were at a house party. They went upstairs. Barb was downstairs and got eaten by a monster. It happens to everybody, okay?
There's some consequences
There's
there.
consequences there. But, like, that was not creepy to me. That was a slice of teenage life.
Right. Whereas this was like... I know it sounds weird, but because they added that guy in it, it was like he was a part of it. He was a part of their first hookup.
But we need to move on. But like we talked about it so long because that's how much it.
Yeah, that bothered us.
It bothered us, but that's really the only thing where I was just like, "This is garbage. This is stupid. This is weird. This is."
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for us.
But moving on. 11 and Hopper, what did you think about that dynamic? What did you think about him becoming her surrogate father and now real father, legal father?
I was super excited about it.
Yeah, you liked it?
I did.
I liked it too.
I did. I just, like, Hopper needed someone and 11 needed someone and they got together. And, like, I even liked just, I don't know, like, the way that they worked together, just...
It was beautiful. It was flawed. It wasn't
cute.
perfect.
No, and even, like, when they fought, it was like... like, did Hopper get, like, really heated really fast? Yeah, but so does 11, and even, like, when they apologized to it later on, it was cute because it was, like, it was kind of like you knew that, like, their dynamic was going to be okay.
It was genuine.
It was. And I love how they eat breakfast together. I just, I love those moments. I love how he had, like, made this place for her and trying to protect her and, make it as homey as he could. And I just loved that. I loved it. Did we spend a little too much time doing that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I did.
That was one of those
it.
things that was a lot of build up.
Yes. And I think, like, just to say one more thing that bothered me, and I think not in a creepy way, but in a kind of way, was when we saw 11. Well, let's talk about 11 first. Okay. So 11 is sucked into the Upside Down because she destroys the Demogorgon, okay?
Yeah, she was like, she
used all of her
destroyed him
energy.
so hard that it sucked her in.
Exactly. Okay. She's roaming the school in the Upside Down. And then she immediately pops back out.
Immediately.
Like, could have probably said, "Hey, Mike."
In that amount of time.
Okay. That was weird.
Yeah.
Don't know why they did that other than to, like, get her back, but that didn't make sense to me. And the biggest question I had of season one ending was about the box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Right. That was the biggest
box
question.
with the Eggos.
Those were the two questions that they left us. That was one of the two questions that they left us with. The box between Hopper and 11 and Will Slug.
Yeah, and what happened to 11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we answered the question of 11, which was a little short-lived. I was like, what? We're just roamed the school and now we're back out? Okay, that's really weird. All right, why would we not spend time in the Upside Down?
At least a month.
Exactly. But instead, we spend time outside in the woods for a really long time where this poor girl, her hair started to grow.
Substantially.
And she's in winter in Indiana. We live in Illinois.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you cannot survive outside. No. And that was painful to see that her hair had grown. I was like, no,
that
poor
was a
baby.
gut punch.
I said, poor baby. I was like, no. And why would Hopper know to leave the Eggos? We still don't know.
We still don't know.
Did he just like in memoriam, like leave her Eggos in the middle of the woods where she happened to be?
And she found it. Why would she know where to find it?
And then she found him that exact moment that he was leaving the Eggos. What? No, that frustrated me.
Like, if you waste an episode, I'm like, okay, you wasted an episode. That was weird. That's bad storytelling. This was a slap in the face to the fans because that is a question mark. That is a big end question mark that you made the audience think about for a year.
Exactly.
And then you show it to us without giving us an answer.
Well, and at least, okay, if you're going to have her wander the woods, have her wander the Upside Down woods.
Yeah.
And have her, like, do the portal type thing where, like, this is like a portal, this little box, like Hopper somehow, maybe the lab told him that this little box, like, can communicate with the Upside Down or something like that, you know?
Like the mailbox in the lake house.
That's right. Have a lake house effect here, okay? Like, where we can communicate. But that was it was a gut punch, and it was frustrating, and I don't know why we didn't spend more time in the Upside Down with 11.
Tease and reward. You got to have tease and reward.
That was weird to me.
Yeah.
And that immediately I was like, oh, this is not a good sign for this season. And because it happened so early. Yeah,
it happened it was episode 2.
Right?
That happened where you're just like, oh, we're going to learn about the box. We still haven't learned about the box and we're never going to.
No, we never are. It was I want to know, but I don't think we're ever going to know.
I kind of want to find out who represents the Duffer Brothers and get their email address.
Right? And like ask them, like, what's the deal with the box? I don't know. So that was a frustration.
Yeah.
But I loved the dynamic of them living in that little cabin together.
And when she was dressed up as a ghost.
Oh my gosh.
She said, like, what if I go like this?
Like, what if I could go
like
out
E.T.
trick-or-treating? Yeah, exactly, E.T. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. Let's talk about her leaving to find Mama.
Okay. This is one thing that was very frustrating to me, like with 11, because there was, you know how when I listed the episodes that you could watch and the ones that you could skip. Well, conveniently 7 was removed from the list, even though it's bookended by 2 that you should watch. Episode 7 is the one where she goes to Chicago and wastes everybody's time.
She has a cool new look.
At the beginning of the episode, you see now leaving Indiana, going to Illinois. At the end of the episode, you see now leaving Illinois, going to Indiana.
Yeah, you really can get rid of it.
You can absolutely move it out. The only thing that I can think of is that character, 8, is a big setup for season 3.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And it gave 11 a little bit more character motivation. Like, it showed us, like, the direction that 11 could have gone if she was left to her own devices. She could have easily become like 8, vindictive, filled with revenge, hate, and just like no direction.
Right. And I liked 8. Like when we first met 8, and like she and Elle like met and like they had that kind of connection.
That sister moment.
I liked that a lot. I was like, oh, I like this.
That's cool.
That's
I like
so
where
cool.
this is going to go.
Exactly. I didn't want her to stay there, but I liked that she found her. And I liked that superpower. Like, that was a cool superpower. Like, you can make people see things that aren't there. But you're absolutely right. Like, the only other thing that I can think is we learned that Matthew Modine is not, he's not dead.
Which we could have learned anywhere.
Right. And it gave her, like, more, like, she thought about 8 when she was trying to muster the courage to close the gate. So that was basically all we gained.
Yeah.
But it could have been easily used by other things. And I also kind of felt like the payoff of meeting Mama was kind of short-lived.
That was a little weird. And why did she get betrayed by her aunt?
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Like, she was so buying into all of it, and then, like, all of a sudden the aunt decides to call.
And who'd she call?
Like, I have no idea. Like, the police or who knows? But, like, I guess it was nice to kind of, like, have a little bit of, okay, we don't need to go back to Mama.
But do we? Are we? Is she going to go back to Mama? Is she just abandoning her mom now that she knows where she is? Does it not matter because she's almost a vegetable? Does she not care about her anymore?
And that's the frustrating thing was, like, I don't know what, like, other than to find 8, which, she felt like this was why Mama wanted to communicate. And that was cool. Like, oh, we're going to talk to Mama.
Like when she busted down the door and said, I want to see Mama.
Yeah, I loved that. But I feel like I really would have liked if we could have talked to Mama normally.
As a person.
Like
in the black space.
Yes, exactly.
I was expecting
like,
her.
Like, we just talk. We can talk. This is where we can talk.
Yeah.
And like, give us that, like, give us that.
And that would have been great later on, like in season 3 or in another episode.
And that could help her, like, find Matthew Modine or something like that.
Like Mama's still a vegetable. She still lives in that other town, but she, like...
She's alive inside.
But 11 can talk to her that way, and maybe she does it every night, or she does it every week, and she can go and visit. That would have given us some solace. Like, she has a
relationship with her mother, but she's able to, like, live her life in Hawkins with her friends and with Hopper as being her, dad.
But we didn't get that.
No, we didn't get that.
And we got something pointless and something questionable and something weird and just felt like we were wasting time.
I know.
And it's just, I went online afterwards. And apparently episode 7 is the least, how do I phrase this? Lowest rated.
Oh, really?
Of the 9 episodes is episode 7.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And episode 7 was the one when she goes to Chicago.
When she goes to Chicago, and meets 8 and everything like that.
Interesting.
I think the earlier episodes, like episodes 1, 2, and 3, and 4 are, like, I found episode 7 interesting.
Yeah.
If it was outside of the storyline. Episode 7 would have made a cool webisode.
Yes. It would have.
Like some sort of prequel story.
Yeah.
Or a side story. Something like a novel, a short story.
Or even, like, release it a few months from now where we, like, have this kind of, like, she's able to talk to Mama, and then, okay, now we're going to go see who 8 is.
Yes, that storyline would have been a fun mini-series or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just...
It was a little frustrating.
It felt so out of place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But... that ending.
Oh, yeah.
Those last couple of episodes.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Just like when 11
when we were in the
back.
lab on.
Yes.
Like, well, I guess
when the power went out.
When the power went out and, like, the Demogorgon started coming out, like, I was like, I am invested. Like, this is Stranger Things. Yes, we're here.
We're finally at season 2.
Exactly. And you even said that. You were like, I feel like we could have started here.
Yeah, like when the dogs started coming out of basically the mouth of hell, and Hopper's there, and he's like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah,
that's the moment where I was just like, "Why didn't we start here?"
Yeah,
why weren't we here in episode 2?
Right, give us maybe an episode to fill us in, and then
boom,
let's start here.
Ugh.
I know
that frustrated me to no end.
Yeah,
and but that's the thing is that, like, once we got there. I was like, man, now we're watching Stranger Things. Now we got Hopper, 11, Mike, Lucas, Dustin, Nancy. Like it's just like we got all these people just like working together. They're paired off in interesting ways. I thought it was interesting to see Dustin and Steve together.
And it's so funny because like I did too, and I like how they now have like a friendship, like a big brother type relationship. But I looked at you as like, they don't know what the hell to do with Steve.
They have no idea.
I was like, now the Nancy's with Johnathan, they have no idea what to do with him.
They're like, we got this actor, he has a contract.
Yeah, exactly.
We
like,
can't write him out.
And I mean, he's cute in his like dumb way, which is fun to add into the dynamic.
Yeah.
And like, I do like him and Dustin together. I
have
really
nothing
do.
against Steve.
But I was just like, when they left him with all the kids as like the babysitter, I was like, oh, Steve.
Like he even said, he's like, I might have made a crap boyfriend, but I make a heck of a babysitter. I'm like,
you're not that cool, Steve.
You're not that cool. You're not going to be able to admit that.
No.
You're still a teenager.
No, and you would still be like, if you're actually in love with Nancy, which it sounded like he really was in love with Nancy.
Yeah.
Then no, you would not be just like hanging out with her brother and his friends. And like even like them in, I was actually thought it was cool, like they gave them something to do, like like we've got to burn out the like whatever the shadow in
we got to
Will.
find Dart. Or
we gotta find whatever. And I did like that they were like, okay, we gotta go do something, and then they were going to burn, this epicenter.
Yeah. But there was a moment when I was just like, oh, are they gonna kill Steve?
Me too. Especially, I think it was in the junkyard.
In the junkyard on the bus.
Yeah, which I was like, they might kill Steve. And then
it would have been cool if they did.
I think they probably should have.
Yeah.
But you know what I said to you at that time? I was like, but then we can't really, I feel like there would have to be some type of conflict with Nancy and Johnathan.
Yeah, you're right.
So it wasn't the right timing.
He would have. I think you said he would have been a martyr.
Yeah.
And then Nancy and Johnathan would have been able to be together.
Exactly.
Because she would have felt guilty for some odd reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead, we killed Bob.
But you were spot on with Bob dying. Because
that's right, we kept taking bets.
we kept taking bets on who was going to die. Early on, like halfway through the season, I was like, somebody's going to die this season. Somebody has to die. And you said Bob, and I was like, nah, they're not going to kill Bob. And I was like, because that doesn't mean as much. But you were 100% right, because what you said was, you're like, Bob is a new character, but we spent way more time with him this season.
Yep.
And he's super nice.
He's sweet.
He's sweet. We've connected with him, but he's not an original character.
Right. And like, he's sweet and he's like good with, but he's not great with the kids. Does that make sense? Like he doesn't 100%, like his advice doesn't exactly work out.
Yeah.
So like he's an endearing character, but we're not gonna like, oh my gosh, 11 died. We're not like that.
Yeah. But yeah. And so I was emotionally connected with it, and his story, like right before his death, his scene when he was trying to fix the computers, fix the electricity, and get out, I was on the edge of my seat.
Oh, me too. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Get out.
And when Paul Reiser was helping and everything like that, great storytelling. Great job.
It was great.
And that scene where 11 closes the gate.
Oh my gosh. And she lifts up.
Yeah, the moment when you see her feet start to lift up, I was just like, this is cool.
Yes.
And when the shadow monster starts coming after 11, there was a time when I was like, and like they did this deliberately because Hopper's back was turned.
Yep. It's true.
They showed you his back is turned, he's not looking at 11, and the shadow hunter's coming after 11 just like it went after Will.
Right.
Is like, what is that going to be like? Because Will is just a kid. 11 is a warrior.
Right. She has powers.
So what is it going to be? What is 11 going to be like with this shadow monster inside of her? But then at the last second, just nope. And she puts up this psychic barrier and starts to destroy him, and then close the barrier.
Cool.
It was
so cool.
There was so much payoff.
Yes.
For what we went through in season 2, it made season 2 worth it.
It did. It totally did. Like that storyline of the lab closing the gate,
Will's shadow
monster, all of that paid off so much that you're like, oh, that was so awesome.
Great payoff.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
We got to see the characters in a really cool situation. But there was just a lot of wasted space.
A lot of wasted space. Mainly at the beginning, a little bit at the end. But the payoff was worth it.
It was.
It was. I can
It
honestly say it was
absolutely
worth it.
Yeah.
Now, could it have been even a better season?
Yeah.
Now, could it have been even a better season? Absolutely.
Of course.
If they fixed that stuff at the beginning.
Right.
But before we leave, let's talk about Snowball.
Oh, okay.
This was great fan service.
It was.
And that's all it was.
Because that's what he talked about. Like, all he wanted to do was bring 11 to Snowball.
In season 1, he said, he's like, I'll take you to the Snowball dance. And she's like, what's that?
Yep.
And that's where we ended in season 2.
It was
and
really cute.
Apparently the creators, the Duff brothers, knew that they wanted to end with Snowball. With the Snowball.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was really sweet. Like, we ended with the Snowball with 11 and Mike. And, you know, like, you see them all pair off. But, man, did they... Okay, so we were focused on Dustin, like, you know, using his hairspray.
His Farrah Fawcett hairspray.
You know, like, have Steve drive him to the dance and everything like that.
Steve gives him the confidence to ask girl after girl.
Exactly. He goes up to girls. They say no. He goes up to another girl, says no. And then you see him on the bleachers, and he's crying.
He's literally crying.
And I'm like, no. I was so angry. I was like, no, they can't do this.
I think your mama instincts kicked in.
Oh, they did. I was like, no, you do not do that to Dustin. And then Nancy comes in and saves the day by being, you know, the hot older girl.
Makes all the other girls jealous.
Exactly.
Like, what did I miss out on?
Exactly. And, you know,
perfect.
says, like, these girls are stupid at this age. They don't, you know, give them a few years. And, you know, like, they're laughing and giggling and dancing together at the dance.
But you can kind of tell that Dustin's not reading into it.
Right.
He doesn't think that it's more than what it is. He
No.
knows what she's doing.
They're dancing as friends,
Mm-hmm.
but he's appreciative of the attention.
Yes.
And that was adorable.
It was freaking adorable.
It was
like, they could have
adorable.
ended
They
it right
saved
there.
it. They
Even
saved-
before
oh, yeah.
11 coming in. I've just been like, this is great. Okay, we can move on. All right, whatever happens to 11 and Mike, whatever.
Oh my gosh. It's true, though, that you had more satisfaction with Nancy dancing with Dustin, though, because you're like, oh, thank God.
So true. And Lucas gets like a half kiss
Yeah.
from Max.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
that's a middle school kiss right there.
And you see him practicing in front of the mirror.
Yeah,
Such
that
a
was
real
cute.
moment.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
was cute.
And even Will gets the no-name. Like, poor Will gets the no-name girl.
I know. Well, at least someone was interested, though.
But then, like, we have that moment where Mike's by himself, and then 11 comes in, and he says right off the bat, "You look beautiful." Not awkward,
no.
not weird, doesn't stumble. He just goes, "You look beautiful." It just
So cute.
boom.
So cute.
And
So 80s, too.
her dress was super 80s.
Yeah.
And he said, he's like, "Do you want to dance?" She said, I don't know how. He's like, "Neither do I. Let's figure it out together." Oh God.
I know.
Oh God. You're killing me.
It was so cute. It was great. And you even have, like, you know, you have the two in the parking lot.
Oh,
and,
Hopper and Joyce.
Yeah, and I feel like that was a nice payoff, too. Like, they needed each other.
And I like that they never made it romantic.
They never did. Like, there's always this question of, like, will it become?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we all have that feeling. Like,
Yeah.
is it going to eventually? But right now, I feel like they're all good where
Yeah.
they're at. And they're really just friends. And that's okay.
And that's okay. Like, you can have an intimate relationship without it being romantic.
Exactly.
And Hopper and Joyce are proof of that.
Right.
And in the last moment, because we can't end on a happy moment,
Of course.
we have the snowball. We're outside. Camera twists, cants the angle. And we kind of rotate into the upside down, and we see the shadow monster in all his glory over the upside down version of the middle school.
Yeah.
End
Yeah.
credits.
Yeah.
That's to tell us that the shadow monster is not destroyed.
Right.
He's still around, and he's pissed.
Right. Exactly.
So we're going to see him again.
And probably, like, stalking them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And but it's not giving so much away. Like, I feel like they have pretty, they can go anywhere they want to now. Like, we know that that's out there, but it doesn't really necessarily make us say, like, okay, this is going to happen in season 3.
I think Will is free now.
I think so, too.
I think Will is now going to be just like another one of the guys.
I think so, too.
I do feel that.
Other than the, you know.
The post-traumatic stress.
Exactly. Like,
Other
other
than
than that.
I don't think he's going to have any more
No.
supernatural connections.
I don't think so, which is good. I think that we're done with that chapter.
Yes, I think so, too. I think... How do you feel about season 3? Are you excited that we're going to get a season 3? Are you looking forward to it, or do you think we should just end it?
Well, I guess I'm having mixed feelings right now because I really enjoy seeing those characters.
Mm-hmm.
And they really did a really great job at the end of season 2 with like grabbing me and just like I was just along for the ride, like on the edge of my seat for the storyline. But I also think there is some like hesitation for me because we're growing with these kids, but they're not going to be kids forever.
Right.
So, where do we go from here? I guess
high school.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, okay, how far do we go with them? And how much crazy crap is going to happen to Hawkins,
That's one big thing is that how much can one town take without it being absurd?
Right.
And I think the Duffer Brothers said they're going to do season 3 and season 4, and that's it.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be 4 years.
I still don't know where they're going to go.
I don't know either, and I still don't think they knew where they were going to go once they finished season 1.
I don't think so either.
I think they were definitely making this up as they go along, which is
There's
fine.
nothing wrong with
There's
it.
nothing wrong with it. Most shows do that.
Right. But I just don't know. I don't know.
But isn't that a fun place though? Isn't that a fun place to be?
Yeah. And I love the characters, so I think I'm excited just to see those people again.
I'm excited for season 3 because I've made peace with the fact that it's not an anthology show.
Mm-hmm.
I like the characters. I still like them after season 2.
That's true.
And
That's true.
they hit me really hard with really cool stuff at the end of season 2. I'm glad that they gave us if they had to choose, I would have liked it all throughout. But if they had to choose to give me the good stuff at the end or at the beginning, I'm glad they gave it to me at the end because
That's
I'm
very
now
true.
looking forward to season 3 because I have no idea what's going to happen.
That's true.
And anything can happen.
That's true.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for listening. I think this might be our longest episode ever. We're reaching up on an hour and a half right now.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, as you can tell, we had a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings about season 2 or Stranger Things 2 or whatever you want to call it. So let us know what you think of the show. What do you think of our opinions of the show? Go to thenerdparty.com/contact, select Nerd Nuptial from the drop-down menu. Fill out the form. It'll send us an email right to our doorstep. And let us know, are we crazy? Was there anything that we were way off the mark, or were you shaking your heads the entire time or nodding your heads the entire time saying, that's right, girl, and Tristan, you were right on the mark, just like always. All right, but thank you so much. As always, go to thenerdparty.com, go to iTunes, give us a review. If you give us a 5-star review, we'll mention you on the show.
I love you.
I know.